Welcome to NFL Picks Week 8. We have a special guest from the squad. He is one of the folks that picked Southside Al. We're going to get to know him, but I want you to do us a solid. Like, comment, subscribe to our page. We do NFL Picks every week. We also have the Squad Sports Show and the Fight Game, but let's get into it. We had a pretty good week last week. The squad had a lot of about 10-3 records. A couple of 9-4 records, and the other part of the squad I'm not going to talk about. But Southside Al is probably in about third place at this particular point, third or fourth place. And so I want to hear from you. How do you get your picks, man? How do you kind of come up with your picks? And because you've been hanging in there tough, man. You've been in like a second and third, and creeping up on first, and we gotta watch out for you. So we're trying to get some secrets here, man. What's up?
Well, a lot of my picks come from watching a lot of football and watching ESPN, because I watch between ESPN, NFL Network, and the games on Thursday night. Some of these things I do as far as picks go is just watching the teams, what's good about the team, what's not good about the team. Are they winning the week before? Have they started the season off good? And like teams like Indianapolis, which has started the season off good when nobody really picked Danny Dimes to do anything. Right. And now look at them now. They like 6-1, and they are in the lead in the AFC South. And I think they're going to be something to reckon with the rest of the season. So we're looking at teams like Denver. We're looking at teams that have just been kind of winning. Like yesterday, I picked Denver to win. I didn't think they were going to win, but they pulled it out in the last few seconds, which was good for Denver, because I hate to see the Giants win. I don't like Jackson Dart. I don't want to see Scam Cataboo, or whatever his name is, win or run. I hope he run to a wall and get CTE. And that's that, because I don't want to see these teams continue to get a lot of hope to win because they put a couple of guys on the bench for this kid. And I don't really think this kid is prepared to be an NFL quarterback just yet.
All right, let me go to Ice Water, man. What are some of the games that stood out to you last week?
What in the hell was Cleveland thinking? Is the GM and the head coach on their way out? That's something you got to ask yourself. Because how does Joe Flacco, coming off the bus, wherever he came from, go directly into Cincinnati and do that type of damage? You have to ask yourself that question. Is it they don't have wide receivers? The running game is pretty tight now with Jenkins down there as the rookie. So a lot of things are going on. So that's the game that really caught my attention in the way that the Bengals were able to move the ball simply by inserting a older veteran quarterback that the Browns gave up on. Also, too, ever since the Dallas game, and I'm not saying they're going to go all the way. Southside out, where are you? Where are you located?
I'm located in the great city of Chicago.
Well,
where all the Bear fans love the Bears, win or lose.
Well, that's you in the right place right now, because I told Puma ever since when Chicago beat Dallas, I said they look like a playoff team. He was like, no, they don't. No, they don't. And look at them now. They are still winning. I'm not saying they're going to want to make the playoffs, but I tell you what, they're on a hell of a roll in the ride. And the way that they were able to win their game versus New Orleans, even if they don't win another game, if I'm in Chicago and I'm a fan, I'm a little bit excited considering what had happened in the past. So we'll go there. Kansas City's healthy, right? And they're dangerous as hell. You do not want to see them. So everybody was talking about, oh, they're dead. Okay. I said, you give Mahomes enough people, he'll try to work it out. Everybody's playing better. They're feeling good right now. I like the way that they're rolling. As I mentioned earlier about Al did about Indianapolis, I'm a believer for right now. I'm a believer. I think they are moving. I think they're going to win a lot of games. I do think they will make the playoffs. And I'm still wondering, as much as I talked to my brother about this the other day, all of the hype that the Chargers have received about their quarterback, and then also with Harbaugh taking over and that combination, one would think that the quarterback would have shown more progress at this point. And you can say what you want to, but it's like having your uncle in your backyard before you play your eighth grade game on Saturday. He's there with you every day. He catching the ball. He throwing you the ball. And now he's been with you for 2 years, staying at your house. It's time for some improvement. Yeah. It is time for some damn improvement. And I know the team overall had injuries on defense. things of that nature. Still looking for that quality running back and a couple other things. But Keenan Allen's been there about 8 times, right? He's done even had done 8 tours. He's still trying to figure it out. All I'm saying is, I think the quarterback play improves somewhat. They can be a better team because I think they have a lot of things, a lot of talent that can help them get over the hump. But right now, sometimes he just finds a way to falter. And I know Harbaugh just wants to shake him.
Yeah.
Man, wake up. Wake up.
Because they're looking like the same old Chargers. I mean, they start out real strong and then they just fade out. Let's go to our picks for this week. The first game on tap is Minnesota at the Los Angeles Chargers. Me, Pop, Southside Al going with the Chargers. Dread's going with Minnesota along with Drake. Windhawk and Ice and Yinzer Mama's going with the Los Angeles Chargers. Southside Al, why are you going with the Chargers even though they're kind of fizzling out? And I'm going with them too. So
I'm going to tell you why, Puma. One reason why I'm going with the Chargers, even though, like Ice just said, that they have not been consistent. The quarterback hasn't been consistent. And I know how the coach has been trying to imply the run game as well as the passing game on offense. But look at Minnesota. Did you see the game yesterday?
Yeah.
Minnesota is not going to be Minnesota of last year. And it's definitely an easy choice to pick the Chargers because they do for a win. And this is one of these wins where it could be a homecoming game for the Chargers. I don't know if they're playing in Minnesota or they're playing in LA, but whatever they're going to do.
They're playing in
it's definitely going to be a homecoming game for the Chargers next week. I think this is going to be their breakout game since they have been down for the last couple of weeks.
All right, Ice, Los Angeles Chargers. We're kind of like suspect on them. Why are you picking them?
Yeah, I just ridiculed them, didn't I? I just kind of put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, I did say that, but that has nothing to do with my damn picks, okay? We talking logic, and we talking about picks, because it's been crazy this year. I'm going to show you the reason why I'm picking them is Carson Wentz. I thought this would be a great opportunity for him. He would really blow up in Minnesota. That was his childhood dream to be the starting quarterback for Minnesota, all of that and everything. And at times he just is not shown up. And you have probably the best, if not one of the best wide receivers at your disposal. And the way I look at it, I'm going to keep it blunt and pretty simple here. The reason why I chose the Chargers is because the Vikings are now playing overseas. If they're playing overseas, I would have picked them. But they're playing in the United States of America, and I don't think they're going to win.
I'm going to miss those early games overseas. I really am. Just waking up groggy, just looking and falling asleep during them because it's too early. But I'm going to miss those games. Next game we have on tap is Miami at Atlanta. Miami's not looking good at all. Everybody picked Atlanta on that particular game, and Atlanta was looking good. I thought they were going to win the game yesterday. They were really playing strong, but they couldn't pull it out. Next game on tap is the New York Jets at Cincinnati. Everybody's going with Cincinnati with Flacco. And I'm going to post that. I get Southside Al's permission to post that picture on our page with him.
You could do that.
Okay, with Flacco. Because I said last week during our regular show, The Squad, that Mike Tomlin needs to shut up. He's putting up bulletin board material. And every time Pittsburgh made a mistake, every time Cincinnati was doing something, they showed Mike Tomlin. And they mentioned those comments about talking about other team general manager. So Cincinnati, everybody's going, across the board with Cincinnati, and I have to agree with them. The next game, this is another game that we went across the board with New England. I'm going to go to Ice first because Cleveland won a game yesterday. Why did you pick New England over Cleveland this time? Didn't you see Cleveland turning the corner, or you're like, fool's gold?
I think it's fool's gold, and I think the reason why Cleveland won is because their defense stepped up. We've known all year long that their defense, with the money that they spent bringing in Year back, and they're going to make a move. But you go back, you look at the offense, and you look at the number of yards that their young quarterback had. I'm talking about Cleveland. Their rookie running back did his major things. The quarterback struggled. You're not going to beat New England like that right now because the way that the coach has them really going, as far as Vrabel going, they playing hard-nosed, quarterback playing pretty good, running backs. They have a couple of secret weapons. I think it's Stevenson at running back, right? And then you also have the wide receiver Diggs when he's healthy. And they're just doing a lot of things. Also, you also have some other guys, reserve guys that are wanting to play. So they're playing hard as heck. And them being able to play with grit, old school football, old school Green Bay, Packer, Minnesota football can beat you if you're not ready. And I think that's what they will have enough because the defense of New England will get after their young quarterback. And that's going to be the difference why Cleveland will lose.
All right. So I'm going to get you on the next one, Southside Al. Buffalo at Carolina. Carolina had a big win the week prior, and the only person who picked Carolina is Windhawk. Everybody else, you, Pop, me, everybody picked Buffalo. What's going on with Buffalo, man? Because I was saying last week that Buffalo should be running the table and owning that division, and they're not. What's going on with Buffalo, man, in your eyes?
Puma, I'm glad you asked me that question because I hesitated on picking Buffalo for that particular game next week because Carolina has definitely been playing top-notch football these last few weeks. And for them to beat Dallas at home convincingly and been playing the week before that fairly good, and knowing how Buffalo has been so inconsistent the last couple of weeks, it was a struggle to pick Buffalo. I think what Buffalo had problem is that they've been reading their press clippings that they are going to be a Super Bowl championship team, but yet they have not beat the guys who have been going to the Super Bowl. They have not won an AFC championship. And they are almost starting to look like the Buffalo of old because every year they're in the playoffs, they're in the running, but just can't get over the hump. So it was real hard to pick them. So hopefully they can pull out and play a good game. I don't know if the game is in Carolina or Buffalo.
It's in Carolina. It's in Carolina.
Well, I hope they play a good game in Carolina because Carolina has definitely been tough at home these past few weeks.
Yeah, well said, well said. Next game on tap. Now, this is a flip-flop between all of us. Chicago at Baltimore. I talked to Pop earlier, and he's like, Marmar coming back. I got to go with Baltimore in Baltimore. And so I picked Baltimore. Pop picked Baltimore. Southside Al picked Chicago. And I'll get to you in a minute. Dred picked Baltimore. Windhawk picked Chicago. Ice picked Baltimore. Baller picked Chicago. Yinzer Mama picked Chicago. And Drake picked, went against, he's just another Chicago guy. He went against Chicago and picked Baltimore. I'm going to go with you, Ice. Is it Marmar?
Oh, come on, bro. Are you kidding me? Yes, Marmar. Marmar been waiting. He been waiting. Hey, man, come on. Marmar has been waiting for this opportunity to come back, and they come off the bye. He's been watching closely. Again, y'all was going to think that I'm double talking here because I praised Chicago. Yes, I did. Marmar is a different story. They have been waiting. They do not move the ball until Marmar is back, and it's just going to be different. That's all I'm going to say. Marmar.
Yeah, they're trying to get in that playoff mix because the record is not showing the type of team that they are. Al, you went with Chicago. Win against Marmar, man. What's up, bro? Is it just a Chicago thing or what?
All I got to say is this, Puma. Did you see that defense yesterday? Even though they were playing the Saints, did you see that defense? Now, Rattler is almost cut in the same cloth as Marmar. If Marmar thinks he's going to roll out, run, pass on the go, that's not going to happen. So one thing you got to figure out, and I know I'm going out on the deep end for the Bears and the psychedelic quarterback, but I really believe that the Bears are going to give it to Marmar and the Ravens, and we will see. This will be their true test to see if they're legit or they're pretenders.
I like it, the psychedelic quarterback. I'm going to start calling him that. Next game on tap is the San Francisco 49ers, who played a great game last night against the Houston Texans. And I'm going with San Francisco. Me, Pumas, Southside Al, Dred's going with San Francisco. Windhawk is going with Houston. And the rest of us, you have Ice, Baller, Drake, and Yinzer Mama going with San Francisco. It seemed like even though they're injured, they are still trying to put together a season so they can make it into the playoffs and maybe get some people healthy. They had some major injuries on that team, but it didn't show last night. They fought hard, and they got the win on that one. Let's go to the next game. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Everybody's going with Tampa Bay. I'm going to go to you, Southside Al. What is it about this Tampa Bay team this year because they're like leading in their division. And Baker Mayfield, I used to call him Faker, but I can't call him that no more because he is coming out to play. What do you see with that particular squad that they're at that top level now?
Well, I can honestly say that Tampa Bay is playing top level football. They got an outstanding coach. Baker Mayfield is not a faker. Even when they've had some injuries to their top tier guys in running back and in the wide receiver, they still been able to pull it off and beat teams convincingly or still win a game even in the last few seconds of the game. So they have been really consistent in winning this past season. And I just have to pick them over the Saints because let's be honest, the Saints are in a market for a quarterback for next year. And that's why they're not going to win.
They could have had one.
They're not going to win. And that's unfortunate, but they're not going to win. So that's what they're playing for. And nobody, if anybody picked the Saints to beat anybody for the rest of the season, is fool's gold.
Ice, your thoughts? Because New Orleans could have had a quarterback, pass him up a few times. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, they thought they knew better. And I think there was a little collusion going on where they were told not to do certain things. So therefore, they followed protocol. But I think now they're looking at everything that's going on and say, hey, man, we probably made a huge mistake. As it was said earlier, Tampa Bay is on fire. Baker Mayfield is finding new targets. Emeka Egbuka was coming up and making these things happen. They're doing a lot of different things, finding different ways. And most importantly, Baker Mayfield is having fun. And that's the dangerous thing. When you see him happy, he's a decent quarterback, more than a decent quarterback. When he's having fun, he can move the ball around and do some things. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Unfortunately, the Saints have shown flashes of some of the talent that they have. And even though they have not done well, you got to take your hat off to Rattler because at least he's trying to make something happen. I thought Olave, the wide receiver, was on witness protection till they brought back Rattler. I'm serious. I didn't know he was even on the team. So Rattler is trying. I just think that they are diminished when it comes to talent. And where the hell is Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Seriously, is he even playing?
Yeah, and I think they want to trade him, but he's like, I'll retire. Don't trade me.
But it's just that, and hell, I'm still looking. Was Michael Thomas still around? No, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying, it's like it seems like that. It seems like this, and I finally saw the what is it? The quarterback that wants to be a running back. He scored last. I have no idea. So that's why I picked Tampa Bay.
All right. Next game on tap is Dallas at Denver, and this shocked me this morning when I called Pop. He's going with his boys. He's going with the Dallas Cowboys, even though he said he ain't no more. Southside Al is going with Dallas. Dredd is going with Dallas. That's our boy Eddie, Southside. So he's going with Dallas. Those are the only three going with Dallas. So I had to pick Denver. I see where Dallas is kind of trying to build up momentum. They got probably the number one offense in the league at this particular time, but their defense probably is last. But Pop was like, I'm going to try Dallas. And I'm like, I did the Fred Sanford on the phone this morning, but everybody else is going with Denver. Al, I know you don't like the Cowboys, so why are you going with the Cowboys, man?
Man, once again, did you see that game last?
Yeah, I saw the game yesterday.
And every time Dallas scores a 40-burger, they're either going to tie or they're going to win. So, yes, their defense sucks. They got rid of their best defensive player. But when you start having Dak throw these balls at the receivers that play for Dallas, I mean, they're unstoppable. The tailback is unstoppable. I think three guys tried to tackle him yesterday as he was trying to score, and he broke tackle and ended up in the end zone. So Dallas has been playing, the offense at least has been playing top-notch. And as long as they play top-notch against this Denver defense, which unfortunately one of their players got suspended today for arguing with a ref yesterday, and he is like one of the top linebackers in the league. He used to play for the 49ers. So as long as he's not playing, I think Dallas has a real chance of running up the score on Denver and it being another homecoming game against the Broncos.
Wow. Jalen Daniels is the latest victim of the Campbell Chunky Soup curse. We're going to talk about that in our regular show. But Ice, your boys, they're looking good, especially on offense. Dak is Daking. So what's up, man?
Man, look,
Do it for Pop. Do it for Pop. Be positive for Pop.
I love you, Pop, but you know this is all about business and getting
Yeah.
this money. It's about this money, all about this money. And Dallas was amazing. Dak Prescott, oh my God, see he's healthy, everybody. And then Javante, oh my God, it's so wonderful. Everything's fool's gold, bro. Fool's gold. Fool's gold. I've been watching the Cowboys a long time. I'm glad they're making things because I think I have Dak Prescott on one of my fantasy football teams. So loving the numbers. Keep putting the numbers up, Dak. But you're facing a team that has an angry coach and they do it the old school way. They hit people in the mouth. They get physical. And one thing we know about the lovely Dallas Cowboys when they're away from the stadium, they do not like physical play. And when things start going around, they start pointing fingers. I saw Pickens skipping, and every time Pickens get every third catch, he jumping in the air. It's like, okay, he's really happy. Okay, that's all gonna come to a halt when you play Denver. They dare you to jump in the air. They're in a hurt business. So with that being said, I think they about to that little merry-go-round carousel everybody on about to come down, about to be deflated. Gonna be pop.
I got one question.
Go ahead.
Is Dallas playing in Dallas or are they playing in Denver?
They're playing in Denver, and the Giants ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. I expect Dallas to run out of gas. That defense to run out of gas in the fourth quarter too.
Well, if they score 40 points, they don't have to worry about it.
I mean,
because still with Denver's offense, it's a chuck and go offense. They don't have much of a run game, so a lot of their offense is dependent on what Bo Nix does.
Yeah.
So him trying to throw to the receivers they got, which are top tier guys, that's the only way they're going to score. That's the only way they're going to move the ball. So I think with Dallas's defense, even though their defensive line is and all that, they don't have much competition to stop the run against Denver.
All right, let's go to the next game. Everybody picked Indianapolis. It's Tennessee at Indianapolis. Everybody's on the Danny Dimes train, and I guess I'm on the Danny Dimes train too. Until it derails, I'm picking Indianapolis. They're looking good. They're playing great on both sides of the ball, and I'll say three of the different teams they have, the special teams, defense, and offense, they are on it. So got to go with them. Green Bay at Pittsburgh, and this was interesting with the picks. You got Pop going with Green Bay. I know he's a Steeler hater, so he was going to go with Green Bay. I went with Pittsburgh. Southside Al went with Green Bay. Dredd went with Green Bay along with Windhawk. And I was surprised at this. Ice went with Pittsburgh. And I know Yinzer Mama went with Pittsburgh, but you had Baller and Drake going with Green Bay. I'm going to go to Ice first. Why'd you go with Pittsburgh, man? Because I know you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. The reason why I went with Pittsburgh is because sometimes Green Bay shows their immaturity as a team, and they make a lot of mistakes. And I'm not sure if that's going to hold well with the Pittsburgh Steelers team and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wants to beat his old team. He wants to show up his old team. What's your thought on this game?
I know you were shocked, but I had to look at the reality of things, brother. I'm all about reality, and the reality is the Pittsburgh Steelers were very much embarrassed in that game against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They did all that work and they had all that hype and they end up losing to the Bengals after their coach ran his mouth and talking about why would you do that, get old Flacco, the Geritol Bowl and all that other stuff. So he ran his mouth. So they come back now and they're going to be mad. They're going to be angry. And I looked at the stats before I made this pick. I saw where offensively Green Bay struggles. And that's exactly with Jordan Love. I looked at the last couple of stats. Hasn't really done a lot. I mean, it done enough just to be nasty to win games. But if the game is tight and it's nasty, so as much as Green Bay's defense has shown up at times with Parsons leading the charge and rallying the troops, we know what happens when Watt gets angry, especially in Pittsburgh with all of the TV and they're gonna start getting calls. I know you're going to talk about it. I'm telling y'all, they're going to start getting calls. Stuff going to change. And what you thought you saw, you didn't see. And it's going to change the game. And that's what Pittsburgh is going to do. And they're going to start not making calls and they're going to punish some folks. And before you turn around, Aaron Rodgers is going to be sitting there with a victory. That's just how it is. Pittsburgh. Any other team? Maybe. But you mentioned earlier about the inexperience sometimes that, or immaturity, should I say, that Green Bay shows on offense. And Pittsburgh like it nasty, baby. They don't want no 35, 40 points on the them shootouts. They want it 2017, 2012, 2015. They want it nasty and ugly over there on the river so they can get in there and win that game.
Sometimes nasty and ugly works. I mean, hey, not only in football. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Southside Al, you picked Green Bay. Now, being a Chicago guy, this is blasphemy.
Well, you know what? It was hard to pick Green Bay because I didn't want to be a blasphemer. But I had to look at Aaron Rodgers. He wants to show up the Green Bay Packers. That's his old team. But he also survived the Unk Bowl and he lost.
Yeah.
So with that being said, with Green Bay having the #1 defensive guy in all the whole league playing for them, and did you see them play the Cardinals yesterday? I mean, the man was outstanding. He had about 3 or 4 sacks. He continued to be disruptive in the Cardinals' backfield, and they end up winning the game. Now, Jordan Love, I don't trust because he's too inconsistent, and I agree that they are immature on offense. But I believe that defense, Green Bay's defense, is going to come out and punch old Aaron in the mouth, and they're going to win this game. If they're playing in Green Bay, they have no chance. Pittsburgh has no chance in winning this game this week.
Now they're playing in Pittsburgh, so that may be
that might be even better. That might be even better to go to Pittsburgh, show Aaron Rodgers up, and as Ice was saying something about their defense, they go make phone calls. Their defense been playing soft all year. Unfortunately, and not unfortunately, but Canu, one of the defensive linemen for Pittsburgh, is a family member of my wife. So at the end of the day, he's been playing soft. Everybody else who they gave money to this year has been playing soft. And I don't believe that Pittsburgh has a chance in hell of beating Green Bay because Green Bay is going to be up for this game. It's almost like going out there and saying, man, you know what? I finally caught the guy I don't like. So now I'm going to beat the hell out of him to prove a point that we are the toughest guys on the block. And I believe Green Bay is going to come out and prove that next Sunday.
Now,
in
Hey,
Pittsburgh.
Puma, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
All I know is Southside, when that family unit come around next time, bro, you might get ready. You better get ready to make that man a plate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know your lady, and she see this show, boy. You in for a fight.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I'm
about to
going
get
to
ready.
send her a copy. I'm going to send her a copy.
Hey, you better make sure you start making them plates because you're gonna be in there on the assembly line serving food at the next family unit after this game.
We'll see about that. We will see about that.
Man, soft. He's playing soft. Didn't call him soft. Playing
Look, there you go. You good? You need some more?
with the big wooden spoon. Last game on tap is the Kansas City Chiefs, and everybody is rolling with Kansas City. I want to go to Ice first. What do you think about? I know you said that they're healthy now, but are they ready to make that run back to the Super Bowl?
I mean, that's so unfair. I'm sorry. I mean, that's what's wrong. I'm telling you, maybe that's showing my age. You win a few more games and everything. Oh my God, they're going all the way. Just let them get acclimated to what they're doing, winning again, right? Rice is back, right? They miss Rice. They miss a lot of different things. So I'm not going to say about a Super Bowl run. I think Patrick Mahomes is excited to have more weapons. And when he has more weapons to throw to, it opens up the running game. You start seeing Pacheco doing some things. The defense start getting hyped up, and they slowly but surely start to get things together. But you have to look at them and being impressed the way that they blanked the Raiders. I mean, that's a professional football team.
That's a get right game right there.
But to blank them. So I don't know about the Super Bowl, but I do think they are improving, and I do think their confidence is back. Particularly when you think about it, what makes Kansas City real dangerous is when Patrick Mahomes does not have to always look for Kelsey. When Kelsey can be the fourth option, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, there he is. We can do that, and that's where they are right now. The defense gets hyped. Everybody builds around what goes off on the offense, and they don't have the greatest defense, but they play off enthusiasm, and I think that's why they're doing what they're doing right now.
Southside Al, I noticed that Mahomes was getting the ball out quicker, and that serves him well as far as what I just said about trying to do everything himself, holding the ball too long, trying to run around, trying to get extra time. Seemed like the offensive line and him and the coaching staff said, hey, let's get the ball out quicker so that you don't have to take those bumps and bruises trying to run and trying to make a play. What's your thoughts about the Kansas City Chiefs? Are they ready to make that run?
No. And this is why I say no. Remember when the Patriots was winning all the Super Bowls in the early 2000s? And then as we got around about 2010, 12, some people, and I'm only saying for myself, I got tired of seeing them win. I got tired of hearing about Tom Brady. I got tired of hearing about Bill Belichick and what a great coach he is, which we know that's a fraud now. I get tired of hearing about how great the great Patrick Mahomes is and how great the Chiefs are. I'm tired of hearing anything good about the Chiefs. I was glad when Rice got arrested because at the end of the day, they didn't have their top guy to throw the ball to. Now he's back. Now everybody's on board. Oh, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is playing better. They played the Raiders, a team that ain't won number one game and lost everything. They got a quarterback almost as old as Aaron Rodgers. Come on, they played the Raiders. When they get to playing teams that's going to give them the business like they played the Chargers for the first game of the year, they're going to have problems. Their defense sucks. Their defensive line is old. Now, they got some guys on offense to protect Mahomes, but he still is not prepared to go the long haul for them to go back to the Super Bowl. And personally, I like the Indianapolis Colts coming out of the AFC. I know it's early, but we are definitely going to see the Colts be in the AFC Championship. Wow. They may not win, but I think they're taking – and I know I'm taking a big leap out on that, but I believe as long as they keep playing like they are, we're going to see a difference in Indianapolis.
All right, you heard it here first. You heard it.
They're going to call Danny Dimes Danny Coins after the season.
Well, Southside Al, I know you've been wanting to get on the show for a while. We finally got you on the show, and we'll get you on a future show with the rest of the squad. And so those are our picks. And check us out on our Facebook page. Check the runner every now and then when we are doing these shows because we have 2 more games left before we give the final results on the standings. But catch us on YouTube and give us a like or comment and tell us how you like the show. We'll see you next week.